So today we are meeting you, meet the star of today. I want you to introduce yourself first. Yes, yes. You need no introduction, but still, I want you to say it out loud.
So, hi everyone. I'm Meet Shah. Actually, now CA Meet Shah. Cleared my CA final with All India Rank 1. Also with the second rank in Inter CA. Have been associated with JKSC since CPT and done my articleship from KNAV based out of BKC.
So first we want to know what ऐसा क्या आपने खाया था कि आपको इंटर सीए में सेकंड रैंक आया और फाइनल सीए में फर्स्ट रैंक आया. What is the secret to your success?
My mom would be the secret to my success.
Oh, then only you can get AIR1.
Definitely.
But tell us more. So what makes Meet Shah AIR2 at CA Inter and AIR1 at CA Final?
I think the most important thing would be consistency. Whatever I had to do it consistently, whether it would be studying, revising, or attending lectures. Everything with consistency ensured that I am here today. If I'm studying for 12 hours, then I have to study for 12 hours every day. If I'm studying just for 6 hours, then just for 6 hours every day. It should not be that 12 hours today, 13 hours the next day, and 8 hours the following day. So consistency was my key.
And were you able to maintain that discipline? Because day in and day out, for example, at CA Final, you may be expected to study for around 10 to 12 hours every day. So how did you manage to consistently, put yourself through 12 hours of rigorous studies?
So honestly, I never tracked my hours. So I never knew how long I'm studying. My only target was completing X number of chapters, X number of questions. So I never knew how many hours I've been studying. So there was never any tiring phase as such. Okay, today I've studied 12 hours, now I'm done for the day. So not tracking hours was another key.
And during your study period, were you taking enough breaks? Were you giving time to your hobbies or to your social life while you were preparing?
So I did take breaks. I think after every 3 hours, I used to take a 15-20 minutes break. It could be a sleep break, a power nap, or proper lunch break. And I was off every social media, every social life, and away from my all hobbies.
So
Especially during the last 10 months of my preparation.
Last 10 months of your preparation?
Social media I was off for the entire 3-year period.
Oh.
And all hobbies, everything social life for the last 10 months of my CA final preparation.
And hence there's only one AIR1.
Yes, definitely.
What made you choose Jksha classes?
JKSC is the best. I think that was the only best option that I was aware of. So I think there is no other option to consider at that time. And even I think there is no other option to consider. Because I was aware of the history and I know a lot of people who have done their chartered accountancy course from JKSC itself. And I think it is, and I think it will always be the best option for everyone.
Thank you so much. I'd like to ask you a very important question, Meet. What is the role of your mother in your life in general and CA in specific?
So I think the most important role is the role of my mom. I have just studied and appeared for the exams, but the background, everything behind the curtains has been done by my mom. It could be preparing food on time. It could be cleaning my desk, making sure that everything is clean when I want them to be. It was also at times that she ensured that I was awake at the correct time. If I had to wake up at 4 a.m., she had to wake up at 3:30 a.m. for me. So this was for my CA journey. And of course, in terms of life, every time, moral support, motivation, someone to look up to, someone to learn from, everything, from A to Z, everything would be my mom.
मैडम, आपको कैसा लग रहा है? मीत अपनी पूरी लाइफ और अपने जो अचीवमेंट्स है सीए को लेके, उसका पूरा क्रेडिट आपको दे रहा है.
मेरा है, फिर सपोर्ट तो उसने भी किया साथ में. मैंने भले किया पर उसका भी है पूरा सब. खुशी का तो कुछ खटकाने, कुछ कह नहीं सकते, कुछ शब्द नहीं कि मैं क्या कहूँ.
जब उसने अपना सीए जर्नी स्टार्ट किया था, तब क्या आपने ये सोचा था कि मीत को दोनों लेवल्स पे सीए इंटर एंड सीए फाइनल, जो विच इज़ वन ऑफ द टफेस्ट एग्जाम्स इन द कंट्री, तो उसमें उसको सिंगल डिजिट रैंक आएगा पैन इंडिया लेवल पे, जहाँ पे लाखों लोग ये एग्जाम्स के लिए अपीयर करते हैं?
इतना नहीं सोचा, पर अच्छे मार्क्स आगे मुझे पक्का पता था. पर फर्स्ट लेवल तक आएगा, पर जिसकी इतनी मेहनत है उससे आना जरूरी था।
मीत ने एक बात तो बहुत सही बोली कि व्हेन अ स्टूडेंट अपीयर्स फॉर अ सीए एग्जाम, बी इट सीए इंटर और बी इट सीए फाइनल, देन इट इज़ नॉट जस्ट द स्टूडेंट जो वो एग्ज़ाम देता है, उनके पूरे जो भी अपने क्लोज सर्कल में होते हैं, स्पेशली पेरेंट्स होते हैं, आप होते हो, तो आपका ज़्यादा कंट्रीब्यूशन होता है, बिकॉज ये इंश्योर करने के लिए कि उसका सब ठीक जा रहा है, आपके एंड पे बहुत सैक्रिफाइसेस वो चीज़ मांग लेती है। तो ऐसी कौन से आपने सैक्रिफाइसेस किए हैं जिसके कारण मीत आज इस शिखर पे है?
बस वो तो कुछ कह नहीं सकती, पर ज़्यादा इसका है सेक्रीफाइस, उसने भी बहुत किया है। मैंने जितना किया उसने उतने मेरा सपोर्ट बहुत किया है, कुछ भी हर चीज़ में जो मैं कहती वो करता था, कोई चीज़ में उसकी डिमांड नहीं थी, बस खाली उसका एक ही लक्ष्य था, बस पढ़ना।
I think one specific sacrifice that she made was she also gave up on her TV so that I'm not disturbed because of that. So I think that is a very big sacrifice, at least in my opinion.
So that was for 6 months or for 1 year once again?
That was for I think the last 8 to 9 months.
Oh my god.
And even if she used to watch, it used to be at a very low volume. So I never realized that even if she is watching.
Oh my goodness. So Meet, tell us about your prep strategy. What were you thinking when you were studying for CA Inter or for CA Final? What was your goal in mind and what kept you going?
So I had a very clear vision that whatever I am doing, my always first aim was to clear with flying colors. It was never rank, it was never any specific single digit, double digit, anything. My only aim was that I clear with the maximum possible marks. So even during Inter, I was aiming for 720, but I know it is not possible, but still I was aiming for 720. And it is like you aim for the skies, you will reach the roof. So that is how I planned to prepare for my study. And I was very sure that whatever I'm studying on the first day, that is what I have to study on the last day. Never changing my source of material, never changing anything. What I'm doing on the first day has to be done on the last day itself. Whether it is writing practice, reading practice or anything. It has to be consistent, just like I said earlier.
And during your entire CA journey, right from when you were studying, obviously it was CPT, which is now CA Foundation. So from CPT to CA Inter to CA Final, what would you say is one of the most memorable things about your CA journey?
I think definitely the first memorable thing would definitely be the rank, definitely. And I think there is a lot of learning behind. Apart from academics and technical things, there are various learnings like time management, balancing a lot of things, sacrifices, living without a lot of people,
So
living
those are
without a
good
social.
memories.
I think there is a lot of learning behind that, lifelong learnings.
Lifelong learning. So you feel that this journey has sort of put some discipline into you.
Yes, definitely.
Right. And what would you like to say to your juniors who are now going to appear for CA Inter or now going to appear for CA Final? What tips would you like to give them?
So I think just as I said earlier, first thing would be consistency.
Consistency.
Whatever you're doing, even if you're studying for 4 hours, that is fine. Keep on studying for 4 hours and gradually increase it. And second thing would be planning. Planning from the first day itself. Whether if you're just joining articleship, whether you're in the last 6 months of preparation, planning is the most important. And it is but obvious that majority of your plans will not be achieved, definitely. So after planning, it would be constantly updating your plans. It could be daily updation, weekly updation, even in fact during hourly updation as well, even during your final exam days. So I think consistency and planning.
One more question I'd like to ask you, Meet. So for the benefit of everyone, Meet was part of the CA final batch that started very first for his exam. So he was right out of May 19 exam. His final CA exam was in May 22, but his prep for CA final started in the month of August itself, which was our very first batch for CA final May 22 exam. So did that have any bearing? Did that decision make sense?
Yes, a lot of sense. So I was very aware of the fact that if once I lose touch with my books, it will be very difficult to gain back that rhythm, maintain it, and ensure that the last day of exam. So joining early made sure that I'm in touch with my books at least 1 hour, 2 hours a day, and I'm able to retain all the concepts till the last day of my exam. So that was very important, I think, joining early and maintaining my touch with books, studies, and everything else.
And how are you managing? So, a lot of people also believe that while I'm doing my articleship, I'm just out of Inter CA. This is my first year of articleship. My college is also going on. How do you manage classes plus college plus articleship where you're very new?
So I think, in fact, in the initial days, it is very possible to manage because since we are new at office, there is not a lot of work pressure. Very easy things are there. So obviously there is a lot of time at after office hours as well. In fact, even on weekends, the classes would just be around 6 to 7 hours. So after that also there are a lot of hours to study. So even if I rest and sleep for 2 or 3 hours, still I have around 2 or 3 hours every day. So I think, and again, it has to be a consistent goal in my mind that
Correct.
I have to, CA final is in May 22. If I rest, then CA final May 22 is not going to be postponed. So I think that's what kept me going.
I think that's a very good note to make, that CA final exam is going to be in May 22. So every day that you lose right now is your loss because the exam is right there.
Exactly.
Right. And during this period also, when there was so much going on, you know, there is college, there's articleship, there's classes also. So were you at that time also giving yourself enough breaks?
At times I was giving myself enough breaks. There were times where I used to attend class, for example, 7 to 10. Then my articleship used to begin 10:30 and it used to go until 8:30, and again 9 p.m. I had to study. So there were times when there were no breaks at all,
Oh.
maybe for 2 or 3 weeks on a consistent basis. But there was no other option for me. So I had to do it.
So what kept you going? So like you said, you have 7 to 10 class, then 10:30 to 8:30 articleship. What motivated you to go back home and open your final CA books?
So one thing that kept me going was, so if I attend a class today and again I attend a class tomorrow without revising, then there's no point attending the class tomorrow. It would be a complete waste of 3 hours. So instead of wasting 3 hours, it is better that I put in 1 hour extra and revise everything that has been done. So just to save those, make those 3 hours fruitful, I made sure that I put in an extra 1 hour after my office hours.
One last thing that I'd like to ask you, Meet. What is that North Star in your career? The one thing that you always wanted that you will now run for, that you've always wanted to achieve in life and which you now can do given your track record?
It was and will always be my mom's smile. Always and always. Because I know whatever I do, if I achieve something, then my mom has to smile, definitely. So I think that would be the only North Star for me.
Very well said, very well said. So you, like I mentioned, your achievement is like no other achievement, and God has been really kind. God has blessed you with such a good rank. Any parting thoughts that you have for the students or for your friends who happen to sit here? There are a lot of students from your batch itself who have secured all India ranks.
I think in case of any problem, we should first look up to our family instead of anyone else, because our family knows us the best. They know what will motivate us, they know what will demotivate us. So they know what to speak and what not to speak. So I think parting thought would always be to make sure that you are always with your family, especially with your parents.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Meet, and our heartiest congratulations to you on behalf of the entire Jksha classes family. Congrats.